Gunfire erupts at the Bite of Seattle Sunday.
Get the heck out of here. Whoa.
He got a little baby. He got shot. God.
Leaving 3 people dead and others injured, including a toddler.
At this point, we believe this could be gang-related.
Now Seattle police are trying to piece together what happened.
Blood is dropping. Lives are being lost. Children are being lost in systems. What are we gonna do?
While the city mourns the lives lost. A 15-year-old boy is now at the center of yesterday's deadly shooting at the Bite of Seattle. A teen waived his right to appear in court today and remains locked up at the Juvenile Justice Center. 3 people were killed, including a 19-year-old that police say they believe exchanged fire with the teen, and at least 1 more shooter. That 3rd suspect hasn't been identified and is still on the run tonight. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Greg Copeland. Earlier, people gathered, they returned to Seattle Center to mourn the lives lost and to demand action so that something like this doesn't happen again. Let's get right to King 5's Madeline Carter. How was the turnout tonight?
Well, Greg, it's a somber feeling even standing in the very place where 3 people in our community were killed yesterday. But tonight, I will tell you, this was a powerful showing of support from our community. You can see the candlelight behind me. It is just beautiful. There are flowers that people have laid, again, to show support. And as you said, also hope that something like this never happens again in Seattle.
If we could just have a moment of silence.
A somber moment at Seattle Center. Family shedding tears, a community showing up strong.
We're, grieving.
The night after a mass shooting.
I know what it feels like to have that empty seat at the table, at the dinner table.
Aaron Murphy Payne lost his own son to gun violence in 2024 and organized this candlelight vigil to shine a light on the 3 lives lost in Monday's senseless tragedy. Ashley Whitehead was 56 years old, described by friends as a lover of life, art, and family, at Bite of Seattle with her daughter when she was shot and later died in surgery. Carlos Villalba was 44, a devoted husband and father of 3. A close friend describes him as one of the best people on the planet. Junior C. Sumo was just 19 years old. Court documents say he was one of the 3 people who exchanged gunfire at Seattle Center.
Enough is enough!
Enough is enough!
Anger, frustration, and sadness shared by the community and those leading it.
I'm here right now to express commitment, to express solidarity, to say that I stand with you.
And I want you to know that we're with you today. This police department is part of your community.
Together, shining a light on the lives that should never have been lost.
I hope they walk away with hope. HOPE, hearing other people's experiences.
Tonight's candlelight vigil was a powerful representation of hope. Of course, that this never happens again, but it's also a showing of support for each other as we all try to process this devastating loss. Live at Seattle Center, Madeline Carter, King 5 News.
And new tonight, the Bite of Seattle released a statement on the shooting saying in part, quote, "Today we stand in solidarity with everyone grieving this tragedy. Our hearts remain with everyone impacted." Organizers also say they are cooperating with law enforcement during their investigation. Now, as the gunshots rang out, nearby business owners ducked for cover and opened their doors for others to find shelter. King 5's Brady Wakayama spoke to one man who owns a business just steps away from where the shooting happened.
The owner of Seattle Fudge describes last night's shooting as chaotic and frightening. But in the middle of it all, he had one clear goal: get as many people to safety as possible. An evening meant for fun turned into fear at the Seattle Center.
When I saw a sea of people running through the Armory building to the back and under the stairs. So at that point, I knew something was wrong.
Inside the Seattle Center Armory, chaos unfolded fast. Jimmy Wanixu Sambat, co-owner of Seattle Fudge, says instinct took over.
I really didn't know what else to do other than just get people to safety.
He rushed his wife, his 2 young children, and employees into the back, lowering the metal gates, but leaving just enough room to pull others inside as dozens poured in.
I had over 50 or 60 plus individuals, standing on top of sinks, in the back, hiding behind tables, just kind of crouching for safety and cover.
More than 50 people hiding, huddled, waiting.
A lot of folks crying, my daughter included, just really not sure what's going on.
After about 20 minutes, an announcement came over the building speakers saying it's safe to leave, with officers escorting people out.
There were some folks that were comfortable in leaving, but we weren't forcing people out. We just said, as you're comfortable, feel free to leave. We started handing out people water, things that we could do to calm them down, because it's obviously a very traumatic experience.
An experience that will sit with Jimmy and countless others forever.
Hug your loved ones. It was a fun event that just ended in tragedy. So really thoughts with everyone that was impacted by that.
Seattle Fudge and the Seattle Center Armory were closed to the public today. Officials say the space will reopen tomorrow. In the newsroom, Brady Wakayama, King 5 News.
With no security, no pat down, no search of the bag. Surprised there's not any security walking around. It's right. Seattle got the budget.
A Seattle musician's social media post questioning security at the Bite of Seattle is going viral after last night's shooting. Caleb Mitchell, who posts under the name Lebo Tracks on Instagram, shared this video Friday. And Seattle Center campus has its own year-round security and coordinates with Seattle police and event organizers. But many attendees say they feel that wasn't enough.
And as time went on, I'm like, who is securing this place? You only would see a couple of guards, every 200 yards. You wouldn't really see a presence that felt like, okay, this is being monitored. I feel like I'm safe. And that raised the flag to me. And I made sure that I got the word out about that before even thinking it was going to even impact as many people as it did.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says investigators are reviewing surveillance camera footage as detectives continue searching for the other suspected shooter. Now, after city officials shared details about the shooting investigation, attention turned to Police Chief Sean Barnes. One reporter asked him where he was yesterday.
Were you in town yesterday?
I was not in town yesterday. I wish that I had a crystal ball and we could schedule gun violence, but we can't. Yesterday, I was in Dallas at the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives Conference. It's their 50th anniversary. At that conference, 2 members from our community were being honored.
Now, after the press conference, our crews caught this exchange between the chief and a reporter who was asking more questions about his absence.
I have been here working as hard as I can for this city from the day I got here. Do you got that? You listen to me.
There are reports that you're not in town often.
There are reports are wrong. Do you understand?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
You understand?
So when were you...
Let's go.
Questions are now being raised about Barnes' time in Seattle after Publicola published an article earlier this month saying the chief has been out of town for most weekends since he took the job. Vendors returned to Seattle Center today to pack up. Some wonder if they'll ever return to the Bite of Seattle. At least one told us the shooting changed their feelings about security and large events. Others, though, say they aren't letting a tragedy stop them from making a living.
I'm pretty done with free events.
This is our bread and butter, and of course it's scary, but again, anywhere you go, it's not safe.
Here to stay with King 5 for continuing coverage of the Seattle Center shooting. You can get the latest updates streaming 24/7 on the King 5 app. That app is free to download for your phone and your TV.